Hey guys, so Frogan has escaped being served, or apparently, and I think I know what the problem is. The problem is the server. So whoever Ethan Klein hired seems to be like an idiot. So he came around 2:30 on July 1st, then he left at 4:30. Then on July 2nd, he came at 2:30 and then left at 6:30. So checking Frogan's Twitter, I have found something very, very interesting. So again, July 5th, he came at 2 a.m. and he stayed until 8 a.m. So you have to give him credit. He definitely stayed there. And then finally at 6:12 p.m. on the 14th, he was able to at least knock on the door and talk to someone who may be Frogan's aunt, mom, could be a relative of some type, or could be simply her roommate. So this charge was $2,549.48, which is a lot of money. Now the question is, why did he go 4 times when the previous 3 times he went when he knew Frogan would not be active? You know how you can live stream and live snipe somebody? They did this with iShowSpeed in China, where if you wanted to know where iShowSpeed was, you would just simply tune in on his live stream and be like, oh, he's here, he's here. If only Frogan announced where she worked, what her job was. He's a 27-year-old public health expert. When she was going to go live. So if you wanted to know if she was home, if you wanted to know if this was the right person, if you could hear the quote comments matching the live stream, it would be really easy to do. I do not know why this person had no idea to do this, right? Like, I mean, this is something that a teenager would be able to figure out, how to live stream snipe an individual. Frogan is obviously not very movable, right? Her setup is not movable, so she's definitely streaming from the same area and same location. How in the world are you not able to confirm whether or not it is Frogan or not? It's because you, in 3 times, you went at 2 in the morning. You went at 2 in the morning. So I went on Twitter, just click some buttons, and Twitter actually shows you when she posted this. And specifically, when she's announcing she's coming back, she actually says she's live streaming anywhere between like 6. She starts at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. and then ends around like 1 a.m. Sometimes a little later, but not often. So here is the information. Live chilling link below, 8:23 p.m. So she must be live streaming there. You can knock on the door. If you hear a door knocking on the live stream, you know that is her apartment. If you not hear the door knocking, again, assuming that you are watching her live stream, you would know that she is not in that apartment. She may be hiding somewhere else, but you would know that you're serving perhaps the wrong person. It would give you a hint that that wasn't the location. These people, like lawyers, I'm very critical of lawyers. Carl Jobs is a lawyer in particular, seem to do the least effective things. Here is another July 16th. She starts streaming at 8:34 p.m. That's weird. It seems like every single day she starts streaming at 8-ish p.m. But I'm going to show you more. This is a failure, I think, in the server. The server was not very competent. There are plenty of grammatic mistakes. There are confusing statements being made, and honestly, it just seems like really creepy. I'm not going to lie. Maybe it's legal in California. I have to look at the laws, but it just doesn't seem like this guy knows what. Or maybe it's a woman. It does not seem like this individual knows what they're doing. Here, it's 9:20 p.m. So why in the world are you going at 2 a.m., staying until 4 a.m., 2 a.m., staying until 6 a.m., 2 a.m., staying until 8 a.m. Why don't you simply, and these are the dates that match. So the dates that we're talking about, they could have easily found this information out. Here's 10:30 p.m. So at no point in time is Frogan active at 2 a.m. in the morning. Right? That's not when these live streams are starting. If you want to get a time, it would be 8:30, 10:30 p.m. when she has to be home, live streaming on her computer. Here's another 10:30 p.m. So tracking Frogan isn't this difficult thing to do. She is literally streaming live. Here's 8:15 p.m. It's almost at the same exact time, around 8 p.m. So wait until Frogan goes live. Have, maybe 2 phones. I don't know if they can afford that. Well, I guess be paid $2,500. This is an absolute waste of money because they still do not know. There is a question whether or not Frogan lives at this location. How could he prove this easily? Frogan live streams at 8:30. She's saying she live streams. You watch, you wait until she live. If you're going to wait 6 hours from 2 a.m. until 8 a.m. in the morning, you can wait here. You can wait an hour for her to go live. So you get there at 8. She goes live at 8:30. You know that she's live. You put in some headphones. You knock on the door. Do you hear the door knocking? Okay, the roommate or somebody opens the door. Do you hear that conversation on the live stream? That would verify whether or not Frogan was there hiding. So it would at least tell you if Frogan was there, right? Now, it could be Frogan lives there and she gave it to her friend or a family member to stay there for a little while she moved somewhere else. But I don't think so because Frogan's background is still the same, right? And moving this equipment and streaming equipment is kind of tough. Now, she did take a break from streaming. Was that because she wanted to move her streaming? Maybe. But at least you would have that confirmation to know that, hey, we're not finding Frogan here. This is someone else. Again, at no point in time is Frogan live streaming starting at 2 a.m., going all the way until 8 a.m. This was a waste of money. This was basically the legal system being a dick to even Klein again, where you have to hire these people. And I have been served 3 times in my life. Once, I was the defendant in a lawsuit. The second time I was a witness and they subpoenaed me to be a witness, and that was served. They wanted to serve me and they attempted to serve me at the hospital the day after my daughter was born, but the hospital kicked the F out of them because they were like, what are you doing here? This is the infant hospital. Everything is locked down at night. So they attempted to serve me around 9 p.m. at the hospital a day after. These people have no sense of boundaries. No, I mean, you listen to him. He's just outside waiting, pulling. It's just creepy as hell, man. They have no sense of boundaries. They're just getting paid out the wazoo, right? They're getting paid a shit ton of money, right? $2,500 is just hang out there, watch a movie on your phone, right? She's not going to be there from 2 a.m. No one is there from 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you need to stalk out a hallway? There was not even a thing, even according to the individual, there was not even a single person in the hallway. Forget Frogan. There was not a single neighbor on that whole floor active during this time period. I think from the way that it's reading, I think a guy is just walking his dog at 3 a.m, right? And that's the person who's letting the guy in all the time. But outside of that, there's just no activity in this apartment complex that late at night. And then the one time he did decide to come in at a reasonable time, he did find somebody. He found someone else, which I'm sure he had a picture of Frogan right? I'm positive he had a picture of her. How does he not know who's if this is Frogan or not? This is another thing, again, not Ethan Klein, not pro Frogan. I'm being very neutral in this video, where the legal system is broken as shit. You need to pay $2,500 for a person to be this incompetent to report back to you in probably one of the creepiest ways that you can. Like, I'm not joking. I was served to be a witness, I'm not a defendant, I'm not the plaintiff, to be a witness at a completely unrelated trial that, like, I didn't give a shit about. And they attempted to serve me in the infant wing, which is under lockdown after like 5 or 6. There's a lot of security. Okay, you have to like take a image, they have to scan you, they have to beep in, and then they let you in the waiting room, then you wait in the waiting room a little bit, and then they let you in. Like, yeah, the hospital wing for newborns is incredible. And the server attempted to get in. They sent me a photo of the hospital, and they wanted me to leave the infant ward, or the newborn ward, to meet him in the parking lot. And I was like, no, I'm not going to meet you in a parking lot, because it's going to be impossible for me to get back to the infant ward because there's so many checks and so on that happens. No, go away. Like, these servers, they make too much money for the level of incompetence that they have shown. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Have you ever been served? I have another funny server story, but it's not as funny as the one. No, I guess that's not funny. They tried to hit me at the hospital the day after my daughter was born, only to realize that the hospital security is really, really tight and regulated at nighttime in that particular area that we were in. Anyway, bye guys. I'll give this video a like, please.